Aaron's Speaking Podcast, episode number 77. Passive aggressive, fake laughs, exaggerated coughs, and theatrical yawns. There's been many times when I've been in a cafe, like I remember when I was trying to study when I was in university, and I'll be positioned in the corner of a cafe, seated facing the corner. I'm there to do work. To anybody who sees me, it's clear that I'm in my own world. I have my books, I'm writing, I have my computer open, and I chose to seat myself so that I'm facing the corner, so that I'm least distracted visually by anybody else coming into the cafe. And I remember my hope, my desire was to study, to get my work done as quickly as I could, as efficiently as I could. And I think there were people who didn't like that. I think that a lot of people, myself sometimes, go to cafes to mingle, to socialize, to hope for the random encounter with a new friend or a new significant other. And getting back to fake forced laughs, I felt like there were multiple times when people wanted to burst my focused bubble. They saw that I had isolated myself and put myself in a position to be able to not be distracted visually. And maybe they didn't like that. Maybe they wanted an environment where everybody is socializing, everybody is a possible friend. There are times when I want that environment, but unlike these people I'm about to tell you an example of, I didn't try to affect other people with a fake laugh. Have you ever heard somebody, have you ever felt like somebody's laugh is exaggerated? It's not appropriate for the thing that happened before that. It's too loud, it's too strong, it's too powerful. I have many times. Getting back to this example, I felt like the fake laugh that I heard was to they could see that I wanted to focus, I wanted to be left alone, I wanted a quiet, non-distracting environment. And they wanted to have some power, some control, some influence over that. Again, this intention might be partially good in that they want to socialize with everybody, they want everybody to be a potential friend, but the action wasn't good. It was doing something that somebody else doesn't want because the other person doesn't want it. It was an exercise like, there's nobody in this cafe who's going to stop me from doing this, so I'm going to do it. Unfortunately, I have felt like that's why people have done things like that before. What about you? Do you have any examples of forced laughs? Has there been any times, have there been any times when you feel like somebody is faking a laugh, you can tell that it's too strong of a laugh. It's too loud. It feels forced. It's fake. Have you ever felt like anybody is doing that to change the environment for their best interests and not necessarily your best interests or the best interests of the majority of people in the room, in the environment? Have you ever felt like fake laughs? Have you ever felt like forced laughs come from a place of insecurity and they're meant to overcompensate? I look forward to hearing your examples. Let's be kind to our fellow brothers and sisters as we talk about these examples. What is it that gets us to do this sometimes, and how can we best respond? Continuing to be nice to our fellow brothers and sisters of the world as we talk about this, remember that our intention here is not just to talk about something that's negative, it's to talk about something that's real, it's to talk about something in an honest way. And we're going to take more steps, at least one more step than just describing something negative. So my challenge to you is to think about how does this fit into your worldview? For those of you that are religious, how does this fit into your religion? How should you act after noticing this negative phenomena in society more often? For those of you who are not religious, how does this fit into your worldview? I am less likely to know what the specifics of your worldview are if they are not as common as one of the world's major religions are. So I look forward to hearing from all of you as to how you can take this knowledge, this deeper description of a social dynamic, and use it in a beneficial way for yourself and a beneficial way for other people. And I challenge you to go further than just this step of negativity. The second step is, how can you be a prism? How can your worldview turn this into a positive thing? Exaggerated coughs, very similar to the fake laughs. I've noticed that this is an attempt to throw a sound, throw an energy into the room or into the setting in order to influence others in a passive aggressive way. This is not the way you cough when you're alone or the way that you cough when you're with the person you like with the number one person that you like the most in the world, in your life. It's almost like the 21st century. It's usually a man that does this. It's almost like a 21st century version of the ape beating his chest or grunting. Again, the person does not cough this way when they are by themselves or when they are with their number one most favorite person in the world. They do this when there are more people in the room, usually strangers. Think of a restaurant or grocery store or shopping mall. And the third, passive aggressive behavior for us to notice more, recognize more, and then remember my challenge to you, see how you can use it in a beneficial way, in a more positive way, fit something that fits your worldview. The third example of a passive aggressive behavior is theatrical yawns. You and I yawn all the time, but we don't do it as theatrically or dramatically as other people do when they're in society, when they're in a room or an environment that contains other people, again, usually strangers. It comes from a person who that person usually doesn't have a lot of energy. They usually don't have a lot of excitement in that moment. They're usually not so enthusiastic about the moment that they are overflowing with positivity and want to share it with you and I. Instead, it usually comes from somebody in a low energetic state. It usually comes from somebody who's maybe feeling more negatively about that moment, or maybe that day, or maybe their existence. Now, here's the challenge. Hey, Aaron, how do you take another step into positivity? Well, for me, my worldview is okay, this is a brother or sister who is possibly currently suffering or focusing on something that's getting them to suffer. And in an attempt to have some kind of control, in an attempt to have some kind of influence, they are doing this rather than not negatively affecting other people. They're putting this negative energy into the air, and it's for some sense of control. I will pray that they find more constructive ways to get a sense of control. I further take a step into positivity by thinking, well, Aaron, what are you doing? Aaron, what are you doing to possibly help this person? You're in the vicinity of this person. If they are doing these passive aggressive, usually negative behaviors, and you are hearing them and or seeing them, Aaron, then that means you're in the vicinity to maybe do something positive for that brother or sister. Okay, So accepting my own challenge, what I could do the next time is to smile or say hello to the person, not immediately after the behavior, but maybe 5 or 10 minutes later, I'm going to get up to go to the bathroom. Or maybe if I'm walking by the person, maybe 5 or 10 minutes later, I'm going to walk back. And that that 5 or 10 minutes later is when I have an opportunity to try to share some positivity. I know it's not going to work all of the time. I know it's not going to uplift my brother or sister's spirit all of the time. But if it does it more than 0 times, then it's worth it. And then I have an opportunity to grow. The reason why I, possibly you, don't attempt to share more moments of positive encouragement or positive energy with other people who are negatively, passive aggressively trying to affect us is because we're afraid that our positive efforts are going to be in vain. And this is where I and hopefully you have an opportunity to grow. We can say, I can say, and I hope you do too, I invite you to do the same. I can say, if I do it 10 times, at least 1 or 2 people are going to respond positively. Hey, Aaron, what about those 8 or 9 times when the person doesn't respond positively and it was a waste of your energy? It was a waste of your focus. Maybe you even made yourself more vulnerable to their negative passive aggressiveness. Well, that's where I have an opportunity to grow and let it be water off of a duck's back.
Only because of you, I cleared my TOEFL in 2025, and I'm ready to write my FPG and will be a pharmacist. So I think everyone who wants 26, they should meet you. So that will help them to pass their exam faster. The TOEFL. So if you are a foreign student and if you want to get 26 in TOEFL, I suggest each and everyone to take classes with Aaron.
The main purpose behind that video is to educate other students that everyone has their own way. Okay. But just go like stick with someone. Believe me, like the templates, maybe some people will get the 26 using templates, but it's not because they use the strict template, the templates as it is. It's because they had their own, they developed their own fluency that could overcome the structure of that template.
A person that you can see and hear, the speaking templates are wrong. Because to get 26 on speak, and when you see somebody who did get 26 on speaking or above, and they tell you they use the speaking template, they did not get 26 on TOEFL IBT speaking because of the speaking template. No, they got 26 on TOEFL IBT speaking in spite of the limiting nature of the speaking template. They got 26 on TOEFL IBT speaking because their speaking fluency was so good, is so good, that it was able to overcome the limiting structure that is speaking templates.
I never got 26 using AI website.
Okay, but you did on the real test after meetings with me.
Yeah.
If you want to see more videos with people giving you their best advice on how they got their 26 on TOEFL IBT speaking, you can watch that YouTube playlist. It's connected to this video, and you can find it by searching for TOEFL IBT Speaking 26. You can also find it by going through speaking26.com. These are people who before were not getting 26 on TOEFL speaking and after did get 26 and pass their tests. I asked them, hey, can you give your best advice to people who are still taking the test? How did you go from not passing to passing?
When I read about the TOEFL exam, I didn't really think much of it. I just thought, okay, straightforward thing. It's an English exam. How difficult can it be?
The pharmacy board needs specifically 26 in speaking.
I used to change the template. Maybe this is more advanced, so I will use this the next exam, and I try to practice this for maybe a month or two. to be able to master it, you know, to say it without thinking. Every time I found myself getting maybe less score or the same score. It doesn't make any difference to just change the templates and use different introductory words. It didn't make any difference for me. Some of my friends advised me to start taking sessions with you.
This helped me in passing my TOEFL exam. Erin helped me to pass and get 26.
Erin, actually, any words will not be enough. But really, I'm very thankful.
26 in speaking, and I finally got it, and I'm so excited to get to the next step in my pharmacist license.
Look at my accent, look at people who got 26. So just surround yourself with people who motivate you.
Look, I passed. That bit that's missing is probably the most important bit to get you to 26.
Yes.
And that's the bit where Aaron, I felt, helped me realize where I was going wrong. And that bit where I was going wrong, I think it goes for everyone. It doesn't matter whether you speak English is your first language or not. That bit that was missing is something everyone really needs to understand in order to get that 26.
Once you are in the level that you need to become advanced in order to get the 26, you need to get rid of the templates.
Template will hinder your ability to deliver the question, because it shows that you are reading something or you are not speaking, you are reading.
I was using completely different template or different way. I started to apply your way, and once I started to practice your way, oh, it's easy for me.
That was really good for me. It really helps me because with this in my mind, I could speak faster, and because I was confident.
It's challenging, but you know, after you pass it, the feeling of victory, it's worth it.
As English is my first language, I thought the speaking templates would be enough to get me the 26 that I needed. Unfortunately, it wasn't, and I only scored a 23. Your lack of getting 26 is not due to your speaking ability. It has been due to your less than optimal strategy. Get rid of the training wheels.
The templates were like, oh my God, why did they create those templates?
Aaron, you are a big helpful for students like us. We need somebody to like stir revolution in our heart inside, give life to our conversation. And this will never happen through other sites like they have exact traditional pattern, the template, first, second, for example. Don't say, for example, the second time, for instance. Really? And like robot, I felt myself without life. I don't have the freedom to speak.
You don't have to worry that much about how can I mention 2 reasons with 2 details or 2 examples. It's too much for me. You help students to increase their fluency.
Instead of following that speaking template or any other speaking template, trust your fluency.
For the students who are taking with you, trust this guy. He's amazing. He will shift or improve your level as soon as possible.
Like just jump my score from 23 to 26, like this. How many hours I took with you? 5. Look at this. 5 hours in 2 weeks. I passed my test.
I was surprised that I passed after 5 sessions together.
I hope you keep inspiring and helping more pharmacists and more other students to achieve their goal and become a professional here in the United States.
If I had just, found you earlier.
For people who's really, they have concern and they need to do it very fast, go to the original, the source of help.
Go to Aaron. He's the guy. He was the guy for me. And hopefully he's the guy for you. And he'll set you straight. He'll tell you what you need to do to get that 26